Welcome back, everyone. Michael here with Offshore Citizen. Today we're going to discuss a tiny little known place. It is an enclave of Italy's within Switzerland that some people have been asking about. And so I figured I would talk about it briefly and give you a little bit of a description on it. So this is what we're going to talk about today. It is, and I'm sure, destroy this because my Italian is terrible, but Campione, Italia. So, apologies to the Italians who I just, totally ruined your language. But anyway, c'est la vie. And I know I'm doing French. So anyway, we're going to talk about that today as a place that's maybe interesting for some people. I'll kind of give you my thoughts on it, pros and cons, etc. And yeah, we'll dive in there. So before we do that, if you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button, nail the notification bell. Make sure you don't miss out on any of our videos. Check out the all notification thing. And if you'd like help with figuring out where to relocate, special how to optimize your tax regimes in different countries, optimize your corporate tax, whether you're staying where you are or going abroad, forming companies, opening bank accounts, if you'd like help getting citizenships, any of these sorts of things, please reach out to us. You can book a call, calendly.com/Michael-Rosmer, link in the description below, or send a message to our websites, offshorecitizen.net and offshorecapitalist.com. All right, here we go. So I remember hearing about this place, I don't know, maybe 8 years ago, something like that. I was exploring all different tax havens and things like this, and it came up in some article, and it was really difficult to find much information on. And I think the reason is it's not a country, right? So, and it's not even really like Britain has the British Overseas Territories, Jersey, Guernsey, Alderney, Sark, Isle of Man, Gibraltar, these places. It's not really like that either. It's really part of Italy, but it has a special relationship with Switzerland because it's an enclave of Switzerland. So what does this mean? An enclave is a territory or country or whatever which is surrounded entirely by another country. So for example, San Marino is entirely surrounded by Italy, right? The Vatican is entirely surrounded by Italy. For some reason, Italy has this enclave thing going on a bunch. Anyway, so there's that. Now, why would you care about this place? So at the time, I'd heard this story. It's like, zero tax, all these great things, etc. And that's not entirely true, okay? In fact, it's really not true at all. So it's not a zero tax place because it's part of Italy. Now, the advantage of it is you can be under the Italian flat tax regime, which is 100,000 euros a year. And so that may be attractive. You can deal with Italian taxes as opposed to the Swiss taxes. And although Swiss taxes aren't terrible, they don't have some of the nice provisions that Italy does. So in certain circumstances, that might be enjoyable for you. But let's just back up and talk about where is this place? What is this thing? So first of all, it is about 30 minutes drive from Milan, quite close. So Milan is in the northern part of Italy. Switzerland is bordering with Italy. And so it's actually right on the edge of Lake Lugano. Again, probably there's a nice Italian way of pronouncing that, but I'm going to call it Lake Lugano. So if you look there, actually a very beautiful part of the world, like really, really beautiful. So the main city is here, and then here's this lake, and there's this little piece which is Campione, Italia. And really remarkable that a country can maintain a little piece in there, but that is the case. And so I think one of the things immediately that's interesting to people about this is Italy has this spectrum to how the culture and how things work, etc. So you can go, Sicily in the south, places like this, things work less well, right? And when you're in northern Italy, it's more Swiss, and things are seen as working really well in Switzerland. I would say, it tends to be safer. It tends to be, just things like function and flow better in northern Italy than they do in southern Italy. Of course, that comes with a trade-off of you have cold weather too. So, some people may like that. You have access to the Alps, which are beautiful. You can go skiing and that sort of thing. But this trade-off. So take that for what it is. A lot of people I know of who would be interested in living and actually doing business would base themselves out of places like Milan, right? Okay. So you get that, and the next thing that's appealing. So it used to be a thing where they weren't part of VAT, and that was really interesting. Now they recently, I think it was in 2018, there was some updates, and so they had to comply with VAT, and there were some border issues added. Previously, it was just basically free flowing, and made it very attractive between Switzerland and Italy. But they kind of got rid of some of that fairly recently, and so some of those benefits on the VAT side are no longer there. Pity, but it is what it is. The thing that you do get though is it's pretty much like being in Switzerland. Technically speaking, the defense is provided by like the police or whatever is provided by Italy, but when it comes to things like access to schools, access to healthcare, driver's license, car vehicle registration, all that kind of stuff, you get access to the Swiss system, and so that's appealing. To go along with also having the Italian tax. So, some people may like that. For me, so to become a resident there, you have to actually reside there. So you have to go and live there, and the right to live there is basically part of Italy, right? So that's kind of accordingly. It's a very small place, not a lot of options in terms of people's like options to buy or rent or whatever. So you kind of have to, you would have to want to live there and choose something that was available, of which there's a very minor selection. That could be great for some people. Again, like the geographic setting of that part of the world is gorgeous. It's stunning. I think it's really, really beautiful. This being said, like I said, weather, not the most amazing. You're in a situation where you have to be willing to live in this tiny, granted, super proximate to both Milan and to Lugano. So, you have both of those, that's great. And then, if you like that part of the world, it might be good. Now, you're not going to live, so basically, you have to like cross the lake to get into the city. So, there's some stuff around that geographically. Do you like that? Do you dislike it? I think it's really personal preference. But it's an interesting place for people who are interested in, like I said, benefiting from a lot of the good things about Switzerland combined with a bunch of the things that go along with Italy. And so, yeah, if you want to go check it out, I think that part of the world is definitely worth going and seeing in general. For me, Switzerland and that part of the world is a little sleepy. It's maybe not quite as happening as I would like. But that being said, the fact that you're so close to Milan and so close to some of these other areas, it could be perfectly good for a person who wants to take advantage of what you might call the best of both worlds. So take it for what it is. If you are interested, go and check it out. And I think if you actually decide to live there, report back. I would love to hear from you. I'd love to hear your experiences of being there, and go accordingly. So I hope that helps. If you have any questions, again, put them in the comments below, and I'm going to look forward to seeing you guys on the next video.